What's up guys, it's Missy. I am back with another SimCity Build-It video. Today we're going to be doing a Contest to Mayor's walkthrough video for you low-level players. Now the reason that I'm doing this video is because this person was in reverse rotation, and that is something that a lot of people struggle with because one, it's super frustrating, and two, it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's pretty terrible, okay? So I'm going to give you guys some tips on diagnosing reverse rotation so that you're not, thinking that you're in it when you're not in it. And then I'm going to tell you guys kind of what you can do to get yourself out of it if you're able to get out of it. Now, before we get started, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Try to put videos out daily, if not weekly. Join us on Facebook at SimCity BuildIt, MissyAnne. We also now have a Facebook page, not just a group, a page, which I made yesterday. So go ahead and like that. And I will be sharing videos all over the place. Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, just to kind of get my name out there and get people the help that they need. Because the SimCity Build-It community is seriously lacking some help. We've got way too many people that can't complete epic projects and, they're broke or they can't win the contest. And there's no reason for that, right? So if you have anybody in your group who's struggling, send them the link to my channel. All right. Task assessment is no, it's not. Setting the scene is the very first thing that you do. Okay, so we need to know what kind of player we're dealing with here. He's level 24. Okay, his storage is 240, so he doesn't have a whole lot of prep, room. Let's see. His cash is 2,000, so that's good. So he's at least able to participate in Mega, correctly. He's got some decent amount of coins, which is good. Okay. Now, we have an idea of what we're dealing with here. So what does the city level tell us? It tells us how many factory slots he has, tells us if he can or cannot use certain types of tokens. You need to be level 24 to use gold tokens. That's why you guys are supposed to speed level to level 24. If you're watching my low-level videos and you are not level 24, I don't help people that don't follow my guide 100% because the reason that it's that way is so that you can be successful 100%. And if you are not doing it that way, then there's a reason why I don't tell people to remain below level 24. There's a lot of reasons why, actually, okay? So don't come to me for help if you aren't going to follow my advice, kind of thing. That's where I'm at with it. So for those of you guys who follow my advice and want help, speed level to 24. That way you can be successful in Mega, okay? Lots of reasons for that. All right, task assessment time. Anything that is 2,000 points or higher is marked with an M for main task. What this means is it is the obvious choice out of everything in your list. So whenever you look at a list, you notice there's certain tasks that stand out to you before other tasks. Those are what we call main tasks, right? So the 2,500 beach, being the highest in the list, is great in value opportunity. Value opportunity is the opportunity within this place value. So you can only have so many tasks worth this particular value. Every task that you leave sit worth that value is one less that you're allowed to have. So every time you clear it out, that is opportunity within value, okay? Opportunity. This task brings opportunity for the beach to come back, which is great because it's 2,500 points. However, it does have a high algorithm rate. So if you are unable to do it or you are in a lower league, like not in Mega, then canceling this would be completely pointless, right? Don't do these unless you're in Mega. You're supposed to have saved all of your beach unlocks for Mega on the Missy's Building Guide. Okay, the next one is a non-premium repair. Now, usually what I tell people to do is to mark their list with two things. On one side, mark it with main, rotatable, no touch, or cancel. On the other side, mark it with non-premium or premium. Okay, so for those of you guys who are submitting your screenshots for review, or even if you're not and you want to really learn and understand, it's really ideal that you mark them this way for a couple of things. One, so that you know the value possibility without having to go and look it up. And two, so that you can start to memorize the assignments. When you have to refer to the CoM guide, it makes it more difficult, in the future. Essentially, you want to train your brain to know all of these things, right? So technically, the beach task is not able to be worth 3,000 points. It's always worth 2,500. So it is technically a non-premium task. Now, when people see non-premium, they think, oh, I shouldn't do it. That's not always the case, okay? When it's at main task value and it's non-premium, that's when you definitely want to get those done, okay? So the next thing we have is a premium no-touch cancel. Now, he marked this no-touch cancel. This is actually incorrect on his task assessment because he would never cancel this at this value. Now, if it was, let's say, 3,000, then it's possibly able to be canceled, okay? If it's blocking too many things and he's not anywhere close to the streaks, then yes, we would cancel. But being how it's only worth 2,000 points, it would just be considered no touch. Mark it off the list, okay? Now we have a 1,600 design challenge home. This is also a non-premium task. When you are a low-level CoM player, you're camping. You're unable to do upgrades. This would be no touch, okay? Now he has a main/R. This is an incorrect, it's incorrect, okay? That's not a main task. I don't know why he marked it as a main task. How many times have I said, okay, pay very close attention to what I'm about to say. A main task is a task that is worth 2,000 points or higher. That is what a main task is. This is 1,500 points. This is a rotatable task, not a main rotatable, okay? Now, what I think he's doing is he's marking this main because it has the possibility to be worth 3,000 points. And in that case, it is incorrect. You should have marked it with a premium. And that's why on one side of your list, you should mark it with a P or a NP. And on the other side, rotatable. So now at this point, you would have known that this is a rotatable premium option. It's not a main task, okay? Main tasks are what you do first. After the main tasks are done, you move to your rotatable option to open up more main tasks. So fix these things on your task assessment will make all the difference, okay? Now we have a rotatable coins. This is also incorrect. This should be marked LR, okay? Last resort rotatable option. That's pretty much one of the only tasks that gets marked with LR is the coins. Because here's the thing about coins. They always do come back for the most part. Sometimes immediately, sometimes in 6 rotations, right? So it's a hit and miss. It's like, okay, I'm really close to the streaks. It's my last option to kind of open something up without having to cancel or having to do a repeat task that's getting me nowhere. That is a last resort rotatable option. That's what that's for, okay? Now, this value is sugar. The fact that it can come back and it has a high algorithm rate, we would mark this no touch. The monster is 2,000 points or higher is the only time that you rotate it in because the algorithm is so high. So right now we would mark this no touch. The war booster is rotatable. Okay, now it's always worth 1,000 points, but it has a low algorithm rate, which means it doesn't typically return, meaning that it opens up good possibilities. Okay, the hammers are a good opportunity for a low-level player. They're considered a premium task, so that would be R. Now he has NT question mark. Technically, no. This is not no touch, but in his circumstances, it's his first week in Mega. November sale is going to be here in just a couple of weeks, so I'm advising everybody who is not, who does not have a whole bunch of, epic pointers to hold off on purchasing those. Avoid the epic task if you can, okay? And try to save any coins, keys, plat keys, cash. Save all that stuff for the November sale. You guys should be amping up that VU tower. I can't tell you how much VU I saw on Global today. and yesterday. Like, you guys, I'm telling you, when November sale comes and you see everything in your menu half off, you're going to be kicking yourself for not listening to me for 3-4 weeks ahead of time when I told y'all to save your stuff. Okay, you guys have all this time in the world to be stacking up those keys, okay? Don't wait till the last minute, because the sale only comes once a year. And to save half price is kind of a big deal. So right now, I advised him not to do any epic project because he doesn't have any pointers. So technically, yes, under these circumstances for his game, we're going to go ahead and pretty much mark this no touch, okay? But in a normal setting, it would be marked with an R. Now we have a cargo for 600. Now this task is non-premium, but it has a lower algorithm rate usually. It's kind of a hit and miss, so you have to pay attention to the history of your assignments, how often you do them. It is a good way to open something up if you run out of other options, okay? So let's go back. The very first task that would have been done would have been beach. Now, this is his prep. So he prepped feed, lawn chairs, watches. Okay, so the fact that he prepped watches and they're here in the streaks, the very first thing I would be doing is picking up one of those watches and placing down something else, okay? Like shoes or caps or something. Because I know that I have 40 assignments at a minimum that I have to get through before I even think of doing those watches. So to leave those watches sit for 2 to 3 days is pointless. And it doesn't make sense to keep making watches when I know that I'm not going to get an assignment for them. And I could get an assignment for something else. So you guys pay attention to what you've prepped and what's in your list, not just for that, but so that you can prep other things. That's the first thing I would have done, is started clearing out those watches and getting something else prepped. Okay? So now we have rolls. Okay? Typically, bread rolls are not... It's kind of a hit and miss with that. Usually you get stuff like cheesecake if you're a higher level player. Honestly, yeah, there are quite a few bread rolls tasks. It's kind of a hit and miss on that one. Smoothies comes up a lot for you lower level players, but the problem is they're so quick to make and they take all your melons that really it's more ideal to kind of at least have the materials for them, you know. He's got flour prepped, which honestly is not something I would have done as a low level player. I would have prepped something like melons, you know, something that takes a long time to make. The whole idea is to save yourself time. Something that either takes a long time to make or pops up quite a bit, okay? Now, the flour task doesn't pop all that much. Flour is your number one moneymaker, yes, but I would have picked something else to prep, okay? Tables is an okay item to prep. That's great. And then you have planks prepped. Now, that was kind of dumb, not going to lie. So when you look at your shops, okay, you're prepping before Mega. So you have all the time in the world. The whole point in prepping is to save time, okay? Planks don't take very much time. There's something you can throw on a gold token and get a whole bunch of them done. You should have prepped something like glue or paint, all right? Okay, so now that we've went over the prep, that's some tips for you guys there. He went ahead and he did the beach, which was correct. Now he gets a Latin for 1200. Now, this is great for the fact that it's a low upgrade. But what's not great is that the game is giving him a low assignment immediately in return. And if you didn't notice that the highest task in his list was a 2500, that's not a good sign, okay? So we're already looking at having the beginning of his contest of mayors be downtime. Now, in the contest of mayors, you have uptime and downtime, okay? You have times where everything goes really good for a little while, and then it starts to take a nosedive, and the game starts to kind of even you out. Now, when you're a low-level player and you have to camp, you're unable to, touch these upgrade tasks, which is very problematic because you only have so many assignments in total that you can kind of juggle. And when you have 7 possible upgrades at a low-level player list, and then you have the ones that are always in your list, like keys, repair, coins, monster, you've left yourself with almost next to nothing left to rotate, like maybe three place values. So when you have this uptime and the downtime, you have to be very careful, okay? You have to be able to notice when it's your fault or when it's the game doing it to you, okay? So right now, he did make the correct choice, and the game gave him a low level or a low point valued upgrade, which, like I said, is great for the fact that it's an upgrade and it's at low value. But we don't want just low-valued stuff. So obviously, the next choice would have been the repair. It is the next main task. It's at 2,000 points, and that is the next obvious choice, okay? So he does the repair. Now he gets a 3,000 delivery to Tokyo. Now this would have been his next play, okay? So again, he would have been paying for the flights to come in. Do not just wait around and waste time. You need to immediately be working on your next task. Now, he gets an upgrade for 800. So again, same concept. At least it's low in value for the fact that it is an upgrade, but not a good sign because we're only 3 tasks in, and he's already got 1, 2, 3, 4 tasks just at the top part of his list that are upgrades. So even though we want to stack the upgrades, we don't want them to come in quite this fast, right? Because we still need those other options. So, looking at our list here, we have a 1,500 war deliveries. Now, this is good in value for the fact that it's the highest value in the list, right? Aside from the upgrades. It is premium, so it has a value possibility of 3,000, and it brings great opportunity, okay? Is there anything going on in the game? Yeah, we're in war, so you can only do this task in war. It's a limited task, so that automatically bumps up the, the need to get it done, the priority to get it done. There's no downtime for it, so that's great. You just kind of go through everything and you compare it to the entire list, and then you pick out any other options that were in the list, and you do a task versus task comparison with Formula 2 on that contest of Mayor's Math. Formula 1 is value, value op. Okay? You do the whole task, the whole list with that, and then you pick out the couple of tasks that you know are going to be what it boils down to. And you do your task versus task comparison with Formula 1 and Formula 2. Except for comparing them against each other, okay? So that would have been his next play, which he did. He just didn't really take the screenshot very well. Now we have a delivery to Tokyo for 2,000. That automatically gets marked as a main task, a main premium task, and takes priority over anything else, right? So that would be the next choice. Okay, now he gets a 1,000 VU. Now, pay very close attention. For a 1,000 VU that just came in, we're not going to do it. It just came in for 1,000 points. Why would we do it? Doesn't make sense, does it? Okay, hopefully he put a bottom screenshot. No, he didn't. Okay, so let's go back and see when the last bottom screenshot was. Right here. So what do we have to compare it to? Well, we have the War Booster and the hammers. Okay, so the War Booster is 1,000. The hammers are 960. So value is greater on the War Booster. Now, opportunity. Opportunity is greater on the War Booster because it has a lower algorithm rate, which is in your CoM guide. It tells you that, okay? So what else? What else do we know about War Booster? It can only be done during war, which means it takes priority, right? Okay. So it becomes War Booster, VU for 1,000, 960 on hammers. That's your task versus task comparison. Now, what do we know? Now we're going to take those 3 tasks, we're going to scoot them over, and we're going to say, okay, task versus task comparison. Which ones are good in value? Well, hammers is automatically lower in value than anything, so we can pretty much cross that off on our list. It comes down to the VU and the war booster. Okay, so now with the VU and the war booster, now we look at our value and we say equal. We write an equal sign. Value opportunity is equal. Opportunity. Opportunity is actually good on VU and good on war booster. So it's equal. So everything's equal when it comes to value, value op, and op. So how do you decide which one to do? Okay, keep going. So now we're going into Formula 2. Value possibility. Well, war booster can only be worth 1,000 points. VU can be worth 3,000. Okay, war booster is a non-premium task. VU is a premium task. But what else? Game. The game category. Is there anything going on in your game that would affect this? Well, war. Okay, so war is only able to be done during war. War booster is only able to be done during war, whereas VU can be done at any time. Okay, so what else? The history of the assignment. VU just came in for 1,000 points. Does it make sense to rotate it when it just came in for 1,000? It's not being good to you. No. So war booster would take priority here. Okay? It would make the most sense to rotate. So he does launch VU. It just came in for 1,000 points. Now he gets delivery to Tokyo, again, for 2,000. So what I'm noticing here is we've already had delivery to Tokyo, I believe 3 times now. 2 times it was worth 2,000 points. So we're kind of getting into a loop almost here. So that's another thing that you want to watch for, okay? So he does that because obviously that's the next choice. And what comes back? Did that come back? Is that where? Hold up. Yep. Okay, so it did. It came right back, you guys, for 1,000 points. So like I said, going into a loop here. So now, okay, same damn thing we just did. Are you really going to repeat it again? I hope not. Okay, so it says R, but last choice, R, second last choice. Now he's got these labeled R, and he went with hammers. He should have went with booster. Okay? So now he gets tables for 720. And he does tables. Why? Logic here. Why? So you did a 960 on hammers, and you got a 720 on tables. Now, out of everything in the bottom of your list, which at this point would be the Epic, the Cargo, and the War Booster, you should have went with War Booster. If you weren't going to go with War Booster, you would have been better off going with even the Cargo to change it up because that place value is not being good to you. But War Booster would have been the correct choice. Okay? So he does the tables, and he gets a delivery to Tokyo for 1,000. How many times have we seen this delivery to Tokyo assignment? Several. So we saw several launch VUs, several Tokyo deliveries for 1,000. Okay? And now here it is for 1,000. Why would we rotate that again just yet? Now we need to go with, again, with the damn War Booster, but he does Tokyo. Why? It just came in for 1,000 points. You've done it how many times now? How many times are you going to pay for the damn Tokyo flight? Think about the cash costs on that. Okay? That's ridiculous. Now he gets a repair for 1,200, which is a non-premium task. And now he's looking at the VU that's there, the War Booster, the Cargo, and that Epic down at the bottom. Then he's got those coins. Now, coins is a last resort rotatable option, so we're not going to go with that, okay? Now, this is an example of reverse rotation, except for the fact that he really, honestly, at this point, wouldn't be in reverse rotation just yet because he is still getting good tasks. It's just that he's rotating them all wrong, right? So now, again, War Booster is what I would be doing based on what we know about what's been going on, and he does VU again, okay? So now we've got a 1,000 on cement, 1,080 on cement. So a 1,000 task resulted in a 1,000 task. That's not a good sign, okay? Now he finally does the War Booster. Okay. And he gets a 1,200 on keys. So there's that other non-premium task that's almost always in your list. So now it comes down to the cement or the cargo. Now, given the fact that neither of these place values have been good to him, normally we would go with something like cement. But if we need to test and see if we're actually in reverse rotation or if it has to do with the fact that he's only been rotating those, same couple of place values. So if I had been going through this list step by step, well, first off, I wouldn't have made all those mistakes back when. But given what I know now about what we got going on here, if we rotate that cement, it likely won't do us much good, okay? I would have went ahead and rotated the cargo to open up a new place value. So he does the cement, and he gets that 1,000 VU again, okay? Now, pretty much saw that coming. So what have we seen so far? 1,000 VU, the Tokyo delivery. I mean, it's being pretty repetitive here. So he's got the keys and the repair marked as no touch, which in reverse rotation, that's not the case. Everything is always marked, keys and repair are typically marked rotatable during reverse rotation at any value because you have to use non-premium options to get you through that downtime, open up that stuff, and then go back to rotating your premiums. But in this case, it doesn't make much sense because, look, he's already been rotating all three of these place values for this whole time, and it hasn't been good to him. So I would have went with the cargo down at the bottom. Okay, so he does the cargo, and he gets a 1,300 on shovels, which at least is better than what's been going on. Now the cargo comes right back. That's not a good sign. So now we're looking more into reverse rotation here. No matter what he's rotating, he seems to be getting the same garbage thrown back at him, right? So when do you know you're in reverse rotation? When things like this happen. Now, this is exactly why you guys should be taking screenshots. Even if I'm not grading them, even if you're not in my group, take screenshots so that you can look back and you can reassess and you can say, okay, what could I have done differently here? What patterns am I not seeing here? What things are coming up that I just didn't notice at the time? Because believe it or not, when you break it down and, you look at everything all at once, it becomes a lot more clear than when you're playing, okay? So in this instance, what we know is that even if we rotate the VU or the cargo, that it's not going to give us anything great at the moment that we're in reverse rotation because everything that we've rotated has either given us the same garbage in return or some new garbage, okay? Now, that being said, that's when we would make the decision to rotate the highest non-premium options to try to open up something better. And then once we start to see a change in the value, then we go ahead and start rotating those premiums again. So I would have advised to rotate the keys, okay? Now, he does the coins. Now, coins is a last resort rotatable option, okay? We were not in that situation. There were still other rotatable options. Now, he gets that War Booster back. Now, remember when I just said that it was going to give us the repeat of the same task that we had already done? The War Booster is something that, yeah, he can do it again, but doesn't make sense to right this minute, right? So keys is what I would have done. He went with War Booster again. He got coins right back. What are we seeing here? He does coins. He gets War Booster. Or sorry, he does War Booster. Then he gets the coins. Or he does the coins and he gets War Booster back. Then he does the War Booster and he gets the coins back. He does cargo. And then he gets cargo right back. Right? Like, dude. What the hell? Okay? So, I would have went with keys there. Now he does the launch VU again. I think at some point he went and watched reverse rotation videos and realized that he was supposed to be doing these non-premium options. Now, the 1280 on the feed, no way, not at this value. I don't care if he does have it prepped. It opens up the possibility of this coming back with a higher value. And what have we seen here? We've seen that the game is liking to throw him the same tasks over and over again. So the probability of feed coming back multiple times is extremely high right now. There's no way in hell I would touch this. This would be, if there's anything that you would want to cross off on your list, that would have been the thing, okay? And that's the thing he does. Oh my God. Okay. And he gets an 800 pairs in return, which is a non-premium flight. Well, at this point, again, he didn't mark coins LR, he marked it R. You gotta break these habits, okay? I would have went with keys. Still gonna say that. I still would. So he does repair. Now, what's the thing that we know about keys versus repair? Read the CoM guide. What does it say? If you have to choose between doing repair versus keys, you should choose keys because it has a less likely chance of coming back immediately and has a higher likelihood of coming back worth more. Didn't read the CoM guide. Anyway, now he gets another low upgrade, which basically means that, great, he's got the upgrade in his list, but now that repair has to go somewhere, so it's going to take up another spot on the list at some point, right? Probably really soon. I would have rotated keys. Still on that. Now he does the keys. Okay. Now he gets grass for 1,000. Okay, so what other non-premium options do we have here that are at least decent in value? Now, at this point, he can't do epic, okay? But if he was able to, we would have rotated that epic before we rotated the cargo. But in his circumstances, as we talked about, he can't do that. Now, I wouldn't want to waste a whole lot more cash here. And the coins I know is going to come right back. So the best thing right now, honestly, would be to do the grass. Okay? Which he does. And he gets that 1,200 repair back. Remember when I just said that repair's got to go somewhere? Yeah, there it is. Okay? Now, given the circumstances and the fact that we know that we need to do the non-premium options, honestly, I would go with the coins right now. Only because he really needs the points, and we know repair's going to come right back, okay? So, the whole idea here is to get through the downtime with as many points as possible until we can start rotating in our premiums again. And right now, that's looking like the best option. So he does the coins, okay? And he gets a delivery to London. Now, there's a low premium. So right now, again, it's still throwing us low premiums. So we're going to have to go with the repair. And he does the delivery to London, costing him more cash, trying to open up another premium. And he gets a 1,000 VU, like we suspected would happen. Okay? So now he does the delivery to Paris. Okay. Bad choice. One, it just costs you cash. And it's really low in value. So I would have went with repair. Now he gets those coins back again. Okay? So this is, right here, this is reverse rotation, you guys. This is when no matter what you do, you get garbage. So what do we, if no matter what you do, it's going to result in garbage, then wouldn't the idea here be to get as many points as possible? right? You see kind of where we're going with this? And then once we start to get good things to open up, then we go back to our normal logic of rotating things for opportunity. So right now, repair would have been the right choice because, yep, there you go. There you have it. He got another garbage assignment, okay? Remember, we already had cement, okay? So now he does coins again. Coins is less than the repair in value. There's the keys. Well, he might as well do keys now because, keys versus repair, equal in value, better in op. So let's go with, what? Oh, okay, that's right. He had room. Okay, so what we had decided was to try to break the cycle, to go ahead and do one upgrade on the regular residential to see if we could open up a better place value down there at the bottom because he had so many upgrades in his list. It did bring in the old townhome, which is good because, at least it's worth a low value. But it still sucks, okay, because it didn't open anything good for him. So now he went ahead and did the VU, when really during this time we should have just went with the keys. Now he gets a launch rare war attack. Okay, so a 1,000 task resulted in another 1,000 task. Doesn't make sense to keep burning premiums. But he does. And then the VU comes back. So now he does the keys. Now he gets cargo for 1,200. Now, I would have went with the cargo, right? Okay. Now he gets London for 1,000. All of these tasks we've seen before at the same value. So now he does the cement. No, you should have done the repair. Remember, we're doing non-premium, high-valued tasks to get us through this crappy downtime. Now he gets textiles for 1,400. Now, given the fact that he really does need the points, and textiles are not too bad in terms of downtime, even if it comes back twice, it's like 6 hours or something. He would definitely need to take the downtime for the textiles. But he doesn't, and he does the repair. Okay. And he gets that 800 regular residential back. So now he does the London. Jesus Christ. Okay. Now VU, after getting the keys. Now he gets his final London. I feel bad because this is his first week in Mega. Okay, so now he starts streaks early, a little early to break the cycle. And he gets glass for 1,320. Ouch. Okay. Now, look at the time remaining. We're at 2 days, 14 hours. Now, he's had nothing but garbage assignments that don't take hardly any time at all. And he's burnt 3 days worth of time. Somehow. Didn't move fast enough. So now he's got a lot of problems now. Because now we know that the game is liking to give him the same repeat tasks. And he doesn't have very much time left. Delivery to London for 1,000. There's the, what is that, donuts, I think? Can't tell. Yeah, donuts for 1,400. Repair for 12. Minerals for 12. Simoleons for 12. Launch VU for 1. Simoleons for 12. Repair for 12. Simoleons for 12. There's the feed. Remember when I said don't touch that damn feed? It's going to come back to bite you in the ass? There it is. Biting him in the ass. Okay. Repair. Feed again. Planks. Caps. Chems. Tape. Now we're at 1 day, 13 hours. And we're into streak 6. We got repair. Look at that. Feed. 3 times. Now, lucky for him, look at the value. 1 round. Now think. Just think. 3 times at 2 rounds. Think if that would have happened. He would have failed all of his streaks. All of them. Damn near all of them. Okay. There's the feed. There's the cargo. What's that again? Feed. Yeah. Okay. So that would have been streak 6 with feed for 1,200. Okay. Now, he did all 60 assignments, or 75 assignments, I believe. and ended with 110,000, which is just barely over a 1K average, pretty much. Ouch. Now, this is a horrible first week in Mega, you guys. If you find yourself in this situation, you have to notice the patterns, okay? So when you guys come to me for advice, you have to remember that you are coming to me, showing me a screenshot, and then usually I ask the history, and then I get, well, maybe it's come back once or twice or whatever. Unless I physically sit down and I look through your choices like this and 100% analyze it from top to bottom, your entire list from top to bottom, every step of the way, that is how you get 100% correct advice. But when you come to somebody and you only send in a screenshot and then it's coupled by a, okay, I did that and I got this without a screenshot, or, okay, that opened up a few things, now I'm here. That doesn't help. And this is why it doesn't help. Because I can't see the history of what's going on here. I can't see the repetitiveness. I can't see which place values are good. What tasks you rotated that maybe you shouldn't have. There's so many things to look at that you have to remember that you got to look at them yourselves, okay? So if you would have really sat down, went back, analyzed from start to finish what was going on here, you would have seen that no matter what you chose, it was going to come back, okay? That being said, it doesn't make sense to, one, burn up a bunch of cash trying to rotate in a bunch of premium garbage that isn't going to give you anything. Okay, so let's look at it like this. Let's say that this person wouldn't have done this and they would have just said, screw it, I'm going to go with the keys and the repair. They would have saved themselves a lot of cash, right? And they wouldn't have rotated in that feed. They wouldn't have had all this downtime. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that could have went differently this week. I'm not saying that this person wouldn't have ended up in reverse rotation. I'm just saying that it wouldn't have cost them so much to ultimately lose anyway, right? So typically, if you find yourself in a situation this terribly, make sure that you guys watch my reverse rotation videos. That way you know what to do. But basically, you're going to go with your non-premium tasks until you start to see a pickup, and then you're going to resort to your premiums. Always pay attention to the history of your assignments, the place values, value possibility, all of it. And it's all in the CoM math videos. If you don't label your tasks and you don't look at the CoM math and don't look at your screenshots, ultimately, you're not going to be successful. Yeah, okay, you may win if you go up against a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing, and you may have weeks where you do really well. But if you really want to learn and continue to win and be successful even when the competition gets hard, then you have to sit down, study, pay attention, label things right, just keep records, screenshots, all that. Okay, so for those of you guys who are not in my group, if you want me to grade your choices, your screenshots need to show the selected assignment, top and bottom. Preferably, if you want to splice and dice like Lala does, she does top and bottom. She puts it through a thing and she slices them together so you can see the entire list on one screenshot. I don't expect people do that. But if you are not going to do that, then you need to send a bottom screenshot every 5 assignments. Okay, so I don't have to scroll back like 20 freaking pictures. All right, you guys, good luck this week, this coming up week. Lightning Wars is going to be over, so we're going to go back on our normal war schedule. We are currently full, but if we have a spot opened up, if you want to be added to the waiting list, go ahead. Right now, we have nobody on the wait list. So for those of you guys who are looking for a group, if you're following the Missy's Building Guide, go ahead, hit me up on Facebook, and we are also on Discord now. So go ahead and join us on Discord with the link below.